looking at different schools in Japan, I found that NUCB stood out because of its emphasis on a global mindset and developing global leaders. And I think that's critical, especially today as we see the world is shrinking, as people are crossing borders, not just goods and services, but ideas and cultures. And I think it's important that people are able to develop skills to be able to communicate, to not just navigate through that, but to thrive in that, to find opportunities and to be able to grow your businesses, your societies. And I think that emphasis in NUCB really stood out to me. And in addition, the school talks about a frontier spirit as well, and the frontier, that's unexplored territory. That's, it talks about uncertainties and risks, but what the school says to me is, they're willing to take those risks. They're willing to go out there, to stay ahead, to stay on the edge. And I think that boldness and that courage to do that, to bring people toward more opportunities and growth is something that's unique and special. Well, when you hear a lot of people talk about their time in Japan, they'll talk about how everything's so organized, systematic, disciplined. They'll talk about how polite the people are, how good all the food is, and there's more than just sushi and ramen. And they'll talk about how beautiful things are, and that's true. You hear that because it's true. Particularly for me, what stands out is how Japan is a good blend of cultural tradition and modernity, how that comes together. And you see that physically, when you see the temples and the castles intermingled with kind of city scapes and skyscrapers, but at the same time you see that in the people, in your interactions with people, in business settings, and how how they live life as well. Sure. During my time at NUCB, going through the different programs, one thing I really developed, I think, was communication skills. Part of that is learning to convey things precisely, getting your message across in a few important words. But at the same time, it's also being in an environment with people from different backgrounds, because communication is not just speaking, and people forget this. It's also listening, and it's listening and understanding to what people are saying and where they come from, and being able to shape your message to make it relevant to them. And besides that, I think communication also entails a lot of critical thinking, which we've also been learning. It's not just presenting your ideas, but asking why, how, and how these things are connected. And I think that plays a part as you look, at the world in the bigger picture. You see the global trends, but to ask why and how, it connects to all these things and makes things relevant to how you can grow your business, your society, and just improve the world.